Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL prediction segment, I'm going to be giving you my picks and analysis for Week 8 of the 2016 NFL season. Now, the first game, I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans at home to defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Running back DeMarco Murray's having a very good season. They're averaging about 161 yards per game rushing, which of course is going to take the pressure off of second-year quarterback Marcus Mariota. Despite their loss last week, I think the Titans are still one of the more improved teams in the NFL. Now, with Jacksonville Jaguars, they're only averaging 19.5 points per game, and they're also number 30 in rushing yards per game. They don't have much of a rushing attack, and also they are not really that great against the run. They are number 18 in the NFL in rushing yards allowed per game at about 110 allowed per game. And I think Tennessee's going to win that battle as far as their rushing attack against the run defense, which is really the main reason I do think the Titans will win. So I'm picking Tennessee in this one. Now, next game, I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals to defeat the Washington Redskins. Now, quarterback, Cincinnati is considered the home team, but they are playing in London. And quarterback Andy Dalton and wide receiver A.J. Green, I still see them as a lethal combination. Cincinnati has underachieved this season. Now, I know they're in London, but Cincinnati, as far as the home record, they are 23-6-1 at home since 2013. Washington now, they have played very well in recent weeks. They would have had 5 consecutive wins, but they lost a tight one last week. Quarterback Kirk Cousins was very efficient in the last game. I think he threw for around 300 yards. And the team is number 3 in total offense in the league, so Washington can sustain drives. I would not be shocked if they won this one, but I think Cincinnati, being 3-4 right now, and given the potential they have, and they have a tight end that I think is going to be active in this game, tight end Tyler Eifert. I don't know if I'm said that right or pronounced it right, but he will be back and he plays an integral role in the offense, so I'm going to go with the Bengals to win this one. Now, the next game, this is very intriguing. You have Kansas City. I'm going to take them on the road against the Indianapolis Colts and pick the Chiefs. Now, we look at Kansas City, and they are, Marcus Peters leads the NFL in interceptions. They have playmakers on defense. They're also number 1 in the NFL with defensive interceptions with 10. And however, Kansas City's weakness, they're tied for last in sacks in the league with 8. You look at Indianapolis now, as far as their offense goes, they're one of the better offenses in the league, but this is a mercurial team. They win one week, they lose the next. The last 5 or 6 weeks, they have flip-flopped as far as wins and losses. They won last week, so I'm thinking they're going to lose this particular battle. They've given up about 29 points per game. Their defense has been lamentable, but who could really discount the combination of T.Y. Hilton and Andrew Luck? They are about as good as they come, and I'm sure they're going to collaborate on at least one touchdown in this particular game. I expect this to be a tight one, but I do like the Chiefs to pull this out in a close one on the road. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Oakland Raiders to win on the road over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Oakland right now is 5-2. They've certainly superseded expectations. They are 4-0 on the road right now, and they have wide receiver Michael Crabtree. And I think in this particular game, when I look at this, Tampa Bay, okay, they're number 32 in pass defense. I think between Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree, I think the receivers can have a field day against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is only 0-2 at home, and they have not won a home game since Week 13 of the 2015 season. So the thing I look at with Tampa Bay. You see more progression with Jameis Winston at quarterback, and he seems to have found a good wide receiver target as far as Mike Evans goes. And I could see them winning, but I do believe Oakland right now is just the better team. They're playing better, and I like Oakland to win this one on the road. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks to win on the road against the New Orleans Saints. You have a formidable defense against a sensational offense. Seattle, of course, the defensive team. Seattle's #1 in scoring defense right now, and points per game allowed only 14.6. And what thing about Seattle though is, I mean, they're, as far as their offense goes, they're kind of up and down. Last week, quarterback Russell Wilson, it was the third time in his career that it happened all this season when he did not have a rushing touchdown or a passing touchdown. And Seattle only managed 6 points last week. Now, they're obviously going to have to do more than that to defeat the Saints, despite the Saints' terrible defense. Now, New Orleans, they're one of the better offenses in the league. They're #1 in passing yards per game and one of the better scoring offenses in the league. However, their defense, they're giving up 32.5 points per game, and that is obviously not going to get it done. If the defense doesn't play much better than their average, then Seattle gets the win. I like Seattle to win this game. I see the points leveling out a little because you have the #1 scoring defense against one of the best scoring offenses in the NFL. But I think the defense will be a little bit better than the Saints offense. Seattle's defense will be a little better than the Saints offense, so I like Seattle to win on the road. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Houston Texans at home to defeat the Detroit Lions. Houston so far has been invincible at home, 4-0 at home right now. I understand Brock Osweiler didn't have the best game last week against his old team, the Denver Broncos. People are saying, well, he looks like basically a mediocre quarterback. He may very well be one. However, this is going to be a good bounce-back game for the team, I believe, since they haven't lost at home yet this season. No J.J. Watt, maybe no problem. They are one of the best pass defenses in the NFL. And you have the Detroit Lions, they've coming in on a high. They've won 3 consecutive games. They have wide receiver Marvin Jones, #5 in NFL in receiving yards. And Matthew Stafford, it seems like he is playing exceptional right now. But now Detroit's got to go on the road and travel. And I think at this time right now, going into Houston, and Houston coming off a very demoralizing loss the way they did, I see Houston winning this game, and I do like the Texans to win at home. Now the next game, I'm going to take the New York Jets to win on the road against the Cleveland Browns. The Jets right now, with Ryan Fitzpatrick, is going to be the quarterback. There was some controversy before, and they put Geno Smith, and Geno Smith, of course, he's injured and out for the season. So that dilemma has resolved itself. Jets are now 2-5. They're #2 in rushing yards allowed, but a lot of that's a little deceptive because the pass defense has been anemic this season. However, they do have 2 wins, and the Browns don't have any wins. And the Browns they're 1-22 in the last 22, counting the preseason this year and going back to last season. And they have lost 14 consecutive games counting preseason. But look at this team. This might be their best opportunity to win a game this season, considering the Jets have not really been playing great this season. But however, Cleveland is allowed almost 30 points per game. Their defense is just abysmal. And the Jets right now, I think with Ryan Fitzpatrick, he wants to come back. He's going to be a little bit revived and rejuvenated now because people have been counting him out. And I think now he's on a mission to prove them wrong, that he still could be at least an adequate quarterback in the NFL. And playing against the Browns, I think that could be any woes he has. I think this could be kind of a remedy for him playing the Cleveland Browns. So I do see the Jets winning this one. I'm taking the New York Jets to win on the road. Now the next game, I'm going to take the New England Patriots to win on the road against the Buffalo Bills. Now, quarterback Tom Brady and company are going to be seeking retribution after losing that game to Buffalo earlier this season. I know Tom Brady, remember, he didn't play that game. He will be playing in this one. And the New England Patriots have never been swept by the Buffalo Bills during the Bill Belichick era. I don't think it happens this season. You're going to have in Buffalo, LaShawn McCoy, the running back, may be out. I believe his status is questionable. They are one of the best rushing teams in the league. They're number 2 in rushing per game, yards per game now. They're averaging 152.3 yards per game. Zach Brown is number 1 in tackles with 74. The team is still, it's a very solid team. But the way I'm looking at this particular game, New England is just too good to lose to Buffalo 2 times. And Tom Brady and company and the Patriots are very good in these revenge type games. And they remember that loss very well. And I don't see that history duplicating itself in this game. I do like the Patriots to win this one. Now, the next game, I want to take the Carolina Panthers at home to beat the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Carolina has struggled this season. I believe they only have 1 win. Quarterback Cam Newton will be back. And this team still, despite their struggles, still has, their offense is still not bad. They're averaging nearly 27 points per game. Luke Kuechly will probably have to have a very exceptional game for them. He's always very consistent. That's one of the mainstays of this team. And I think Cam Newton, I think he's going to spark this team, and they are going to be at home. Now, Arizona, the last 2 times they played Carolina, they lost by a combined 76-31 score, and they did lose the last 2 times they played them. You remember when Carolina annihilated them last season in the playoffs. I know Carolina is not as good right now as they were last season at that time, but they're still capable of beating this team. Carolina with only 1 win. Their season basically can come down right here. I believe this is a very significant game for them. And Arizona, last week, they only managed 6 points against the Seahawks. Their offense is kind of sporadic and inconsistent. But they are tied for 3rd in defensive sacks with 20. So if they get to Cam Newton frequently, it could be a long day for the Carolina Panthers, but I do believe the Carolina Panthers are still good enough to win this game, and I am taking the Carolina Panthers to win at home. Now, the next game. Well, this should be a dandy. Denver Broncos are going to be at home against the San Diego Chargers. I am going to take the Denver Broncos to prevail at home. They're going to seek to avenge an earlier loss to the San Diego Chargers. Denver right now is number 1 in sacks. Von Miller is one of the best people in the NFL, among the leaders in sacks in the NFL. And right now, Denver just comes off obliterating Houston Texans at home. You look at San Diego, and San Diego, win or lose, these games they play are close. They have won 2 straight. They had a very solid win against Atlanta last week, and this is but they only have 1 road win this season. Quarterback Philip Rivers, there's something about him I just see is very laudable, very admirable. He plays with such passion and vigor, and it doesn't matter with him what the score is. I mean, he played on a team last season that was deplorable, 4-12, but it seems like he just never gives up. He always puts in 100%, no matter what the circumstances are in the game. And for me, I mean, that's that kind of player you want on your team. Even the stats even out of the equation. He puts up great numbers, but as far as his attitude as a player, I think is almost unsurpassed in the NFL. But in this particular one, though, I mean, San Diego's offense will keep this game competitive and close. San Diego's, their 4 losses were all by 6 points or less. And I see this game being very tight. I think in this game, though, Denver will avenge that loss. They are at home. I see them winning by like a field goal. I see the game something like 27-24 Denver. So I am going to take the Denver Broncos to win at home. Now, the next game. Well, this was a tough one. This was ambivalent city because I was having a hard time in this particular game. But I am going to take the Atlanta Falcons to win at home over the Green Bay Packers. The Atlanta Falcons right now #1 in total offense. I know they came off a tough loss against San Diego last week, but they still have a very deadly, lethal combination: quarterback, wide receiver, Matt Ryan, and Julio Jones. I think they're going to get the job done this time. I don't see them losing two in the manner that they've lost two consecutive games like this at home when they have a good opportunity to win, because Green Bay, despite having Aaron Rodgers, and it's a team that's been a perennial contender for the title for a number of years, there's something with Green Bay that just to me doesn't seem like they're these world beaters that they once were. And I know Aaron Rodgers had a great game the last time they played against Chicago, but this game is going to be on the road. They're going to have to go to Atlanta, and I see Green Bay and company making this close, but I still like the Atlanta Falcons because I think you have that redemption factor. They want to redeem themselves after having that tough loss last week. They are at home. Green Bay does have to travel. I do like the Falcons to win at home. Last but not least, I'm sorry, there's actually two games left. Now, the next game, Dallas. It's going to be another tight game, I think. I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys at home to defeat the Philadelphia Eagles. The Dallas Cowboys, they come in #1 rushing, they're one of the better rushing teams in the league. They're averaging about 161 yards per game. I know they're coming off the bye. The main thing that concerns me about them is the fact that, they lose a little momentum coming off that bye, and having Dak Prescott having a great season as a rookie quarterback and Ezekiel Elliott doing the same at running back. That's a very good 1-2 combination to have. Dallas the only loss they came was to my Giants in week 1. They could have easily won. They could have been 6-0 right now. But Philadelphia Eagles, well, the thing that's interesting about them to me, and you don't hear this mentioned in a lot of, like when the analysis talk, it's even myself, when I talk about, we're looking basically at offense and defense when we're doing our analysis of these games, but the kick return average has been phenomenal. The Philadelphia Eagles are averaging nearly 39 yards per kickoff return, and to me, this could play a very strong role, figure prominently in this game, the field position, because of this. Now, Dallas, if they can contain the kick returners and be able to play well as far as that part of the special teams go, that definitely increases their chances of winning. I believe they will do that well enough to win, and I like the Philadelphia. Right now with Carson Wentz, he's having a very good season. He's superseded expectations at quarterback, and they have also won 3 straight at Dallas, so they do have that on their side, the history. But in this particular game, I look at Dallas. I think they seem to be a very good, complete team right now. They are at home. They're rested. I do like them to win this game at home. Now, last but not least, I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings to win on the road against the Chicago Bears. Minnesota had a tough loss last week. They had come off their bye. They had gone on the road to Philadelphia, and they couldn't get the job done. But now, I don't see Minnesota still. I see them as a very good team right now. Sam Bradford, I think, will be efficient in this game. They are playing the Chicago Bears, so that helps them a little bit. In Minnesota, right now, okay, the one Achilles heel with them is that they are number 32 in total offense. But when you have a very good defense, you don't necessarily need to have this great offense. They are 9 defensive interceptions, one of the better teams in the NFL in that department. And they're also plus 11 in turnover differentials. So if they could capitalize on their opportunities, if they force the Bears into making number of turnovers, they do have a good shot to win. Chicago. Now, they're number 32 in scoring offense. They're averaging 15.9 points per game. They just can't generate any offense. Quarterback Matt Barkley may start, and The Chicago Bears have lost 3 straight to Minnesota, so Minnesota has played very well against the Bears in recent time. Minnesota might actually be a better team this season than they were last season, so to me, you factor in this Matt Barkley maybe playing, starting at quarterback, who I believe I guess is like the third stringer on the Chicago Bears, third string quarterback. Minnesota, I see them being resilient and bouncing back from that loss last week, so I do like the Vikings to win on the road. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment for my Week 8 2016 NFL picks and analysis. And until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.